Well, hello, my wonderful viewers out there. Hi, I'm Awesome Joe, and thank you guys so much for taking in the time of your day to watching another episode of Awesome Joe's Movie Reviews. And today we're going to go ahead and be talking about the newest movie out in theaters, which is called They Will Kill You. And I wasn't going to do a review off of this because the movie really felt very familiar to a very recent movie review that I had just previously done last week. And of course, we all know what we're talking about is Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. And it's still a mouthful for me to try and make sure that I say the right movie name off of that film. But this one, because it still has a lot of similarities, of course, into some areas that I really don't want to explain so much of because it's really something that I'm not very fond of and something I wasn't really looking forward to watching. But when I'm watching the trailer to this movie, I honestly felt very excited to see how this movie was going to turn out because even though I enjoyed the trailer to Ready or Not 2 and I watched that film and knowing that there was going to be things in it that I didn't approve on, I still thought it was still a very fun movie. And when it comes to this movie, They Will Kill You, I actually thought that it's not as good as Ready or Not 2. I think Ready or Not 2 is a far more better movie compared to this one. I think that there's still a lot of great aspects to the movie that I really did enjoy. I did think that it was fun. It did take itself in, many different directions, even though it had its similarities to that whole horror um, comedy, horror comedy action that it had, that it was trying to do. The movie is directed by Kirill Sokolov. Hope I pronounced that name right. He did movies that I am not very familiar with. Don't know that they exist. But No Looking Back, Why Don't You Die, Could Be Worse, The Outcome, and The Flame. Never heard any single one of those movies. If you guys know as to where I can watch these movies to have a more clear idea as to how this director really does direct his films other than this movie, let me know where I can find that on streaming. I'm pretty sure it's hiding somewhere. I just gotta find it because I'm curious. I'm really curious as to how he does his work other than this film, because this film, it made me question because I didn't know who the director was, and when things started happening in this movie, I asked myself the question: is Quentin Tarantino directing this movie? Because there's a lot of things in here that reminded me very much of Kill Bill, which is my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. Kill Bill 1 and 2, mostly Kill Bill 1. And I kept asking myself, I gotta look this up. Is it Quentin Tarantino? Did he have anything to do with this movie? Apparently not, but I think that he might have, taken some ideas from, this director, Kirill, took the ideas from Quentin's movies and used it to his own perspective. So, which I really do give him credit for. It's just really helping him to find his certain path, his certain direction to how he would do a film. Because not only did it feel very Quentin Tarantino-ish, but it also had some Edgar Wright stuff from either like Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz. And also another in particular director that had some familiarity to the movie that, when it comes to the horror part of the film, is like Sam Raimi. Of course, we all saw the recent film earlier on this year, which is Send Help, which was a really great film. So some of those horror aspects that is in this movie, They Will Kill You, it does have some very similar horror vibes to it. Now, is it a bad thing? Like I said, it really is not. I really understand that he's just trying to find his own direction and trying to figure out what his own thing is. But I really do give credits to that because because I'm a fan of those directors. I think that they do really great, magnificent work, and him having to, include bits and pieces of those and bringing it together to make this movie, this fun movie. I actually did have a good time with this. This was fantastic, and one of the great additions into making this a really good film is the leading actress Zazie Beetz, who plays a character named Asia Reeves, and she, according to what we know from the trailer, no spoilers here because it is a newly released film. I really want to. I don't know if I would encourage you guys to go in and watching this if you are like really all about Christianity and if you're a church going person, a hardcore believer in God like myself. I wouldn't recommend going out watching this. I really felt uncomfortable with those things, and but for a movie critic, I had to sweep that under the rug. I will not. I won't. I probably won't do this again. I let it go for these last two movies, Ready or Not. Well, actually, three movies: Ready or Not, Ready or Not Two, and this one, They Will Kill You. I won't do it again. I really had to, uh, you know, ask for forgiveness, and I mean, it's just, excuse me, it's not something that I think that is something that I would do again. So, but yes, because I know that they have this one coming up, The Mummy. It's very horror related, very demonic. I looked it up and I made sure, and it's not an action flick like Brendan Fraser or Tom Cruise. It's a horror movie dealing with demonic stuff in it. So that one for sure I will not watch. I won't watch. It's not really the sort of movies that I would recommend at all. But anyways, the actress Zazie Beetz, who plays the character of Asia Reeves, is um, going into this hotel building, and she's hired as a housekeeper, and she doesn't even do the housekeeping at all, the work that she's hired to do, because within that very first night, stuff starts happening. I mean, this movie really starts off quick. It really gets you on the ball, and once the fun starts, it starts and it does not stop. There's constant fighting choreographies happening throughout this entire movie that I thought was just fantastic. Great visualizations, great cinematography. I mean, it was just great. I really did enjoy everything that went on when it came to the choreography. The story, perhaps, like I said, is very similar to Ready or Not. Do I like it? I really don't, for obvious reasons. Um, but in this one in particularly, I don't think it worked. If I were to have to say if it worked between Ready or Not and They Will Kill You, I think They Will Kill You is not that good at portraying that story. I think that Ready or Not does a much more better perspective on that, on the direction that they were taking itself towards. You get other stars into this movie. You like Patricia Arquette, Heather Graham, Tom Felton, and so many others. And I find that this movie is not really memorable. It's great, it's fun, but I think it's something that you would probably just want to watch just one time, and then that would be about it. Um, and I don't even think it was very theatrical. It looked like something that could probably pop up on Netflix, and that'll be it. But I didn't really find it to being big enough to being in a theater. I'm encouraging you, audiences. Come on, why are we not going to the movie theaters here? This movie, I mean, whether if you're into it or not, the thing is that we got to get more people to come into to the movie theaters, because it was just only just me and another individual. I was not. It's not that I was scared of being there by myself, but it's just too lonely in there when it's just by yourself. I mean, you want to have not just yourself, but a whole audience to enjoy this movie with. That's the whole point. And people are not going. I mean, yeah, we got Netflix, we got HBO Max, we got Disney Plus, we got Paramount Plus, we got Amazon Prime, we got all these streaming services out there that we can watch things at home at. But it's so much fun to go and to enjoy movies the way that they should be out in the theaters. So, and I know, like I said, that this movie felt like it should have been more on Netflix, but it's out in theaters, and come on, you guys. I really do encourage people to go out and watching movies. Especially when it's during the weekends. Let's not let the theatrical experiences die, because the movie theater that I go to where I live at, this movie theater, as long as I can remember, as long as I have lived, this theater has been here. But it was remodeled back in 1996, and so it's already 30 years now since they had remodeled this thing. It occurred to me when I was watching D3, The Mighty Ducks, the third Mighty Ducks movie on Disney Plus, and then I was thinking to myself, like, I still remember the day when I watched this movie in the theaters, when I saw the poster just outside the movies, and that was back when that was one of the first movies, other than The First Wives Club was the first one that we saw. But D3, The Mighty Ducks, man, when we watched it, it was like, that was back in 96. That was right after they finished the remodeling. And it was 30 years ago. And I could not believe it's the same theater since then. We had a few upgrades here and there, but nothing massive. It's still pretty much the same theater after 3 decades. So how fascinating is that? We need an IMAX. That's what I would love to have. We need an IMAX here. We get 3Ds every so often, but IMAX is the one that I really would want in our location. But yes, the Rotten Tomatoes on this. At first I saw it said 75%, but then I just recently saw it again today, stating that it went down to 68%. And that's pretty low, man. I mean, I would think that this movie would have been a little bit more higher. According to what Rotten Tomatoes and audiences scores would put in. But for me personally, I think that the movie They Will Kill You, I'm gonna give it a good 47%. Because like I said, I love the choreography. I think Zazie Beetz is fantastic. The story is very unforgettable. It doesn't feel original. Not that I'm saying that it is compared to Ready or Not, but having its story the way that it is, it just doesn't feel very original. I really do admire how they do not a lot of, but there's a part of the film where it goes one direction, then it goes a completely different direction, then it comes right back to it. That was great. I just don't think that it was fantastic storytelling. But like I said, the choreography fights are great. The visuals, the editing, all of that is fantastic. I'm just not really into these kind of movies. It's rated R, but it's like hardcore rated R. You would think that this movie would probably, it would be more fantastic if there was some more justice for it, but it just really is not. I just think that it's a come and go kind of movie. I don't think that I'm going to be remembering it after this. But anyways, you guys, that is my review off of They Will Kill You. What did you guys think? Have you guys watched this movie? Like I said, I don't really recommend it if you are a spiritual person, a believer in God. Like I said, for me, I really felt uncomfortable watching these kind of movies within 2 weeks already. I won't watch them again for my personal reasons. But for you guys, if you guys enjoy watching these kind of movies, and if you watch this one, let me know in the comment section in the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this movie or any movies that you'd like to talk about in general, because I love to talk about movies, but most importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can check out some more of my videos on YouTube. Just look me up at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. Don't forget to click at that like and subscribe button there, you guys. I really do appreciate it. And as well as the notification bell for future videos. But anyways, you guys, I'm Awesome Joe. Keep on living the dream. And as always, stay awesome. Thanks, you guys, once more again. And it took me a while to put this video together because my daughter's birthday was yesterday. And, I put together a tribute video of her and her special day. And that took a long time, a lot of hard work to put together. And so I'm very proud and very appreciative of that. And so after that, I went ahead and just did this video. So I'm very proud of that. If you guys want to check that out, that's also on my page as well too. I really do hope that if when you guys watch it, if you do, that you guys enjoy it. And thank you, thanks guys so much for everything, for all your views. I see that a lot of people are watching my videos, and I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you very much. So to my baby girl, Daddy loves you, Daddy misses you, and for everyone else, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.